And it is a lot of money to a lot of Singaporeans, right? You know? And so all these things are increasing. And yet the government every day tells us, oh, there's not enough money. We must increase GST because we have an aging population. But when you look at the figures, actually the outflow and the inflow for medical is almost the same. Or in fact, the inflow is more than the outflow. All right? And I believe, I have not updated myself on the figures, there is something like 110 to 120 billion dollars sitting in our MediSave. You know, I am not an expert. All right? I would like to ask my good friend Paul Tambaya what can be done. But I have generally a good sense of what can be done. I'm telling you, with 120 billion sitting in MediSave, I think we can have universal health coverage for every Singaporean. Free health services, you know, and not have all these ridiculous reports every day of elderly Singaporeans going to get medical services and then find that they have to come up with these massive cash outlays. Yeah? So my friends, the short of it is this. We are a society that has gone crazy. You know why? Because we have a government that, frankly, is not interested in helping the citizens to control the cost of living. It is not.
Hui Hui.
Actually, not only that, after you are being referred to from the polyclinic to the hospital, there is long waiting time. Then they will tell you, oh, it's very urgent, is it? Then you just go to the A&E, then you'll be admitted in the hospital. But once you go to the A&E immediately, they'll say, oh, sorry, at A&E we don't recognize the polyclinic referral. So you have to pay the private rate, which is even higher. And every time you go to A&E now, you have to immediately on the spot give $145. So if you cannot call out this $145 administration fee, right, then they will not admit you as well. They will just tell you, okay, you wait first.
Hui Hui, you are affectionately known as the leader of the unvaccinated. How did that come about?
I don't even know. The AGC is the one. 10 years ago, they labelled me leader of the protest. 10 years later, they label me leader of unvaccinated. I don't know, next 10 years, they are going to label me what.
Lim Tian, you mentioned that practically every day or every other day, people come approach you and tell you about the woes. You are also, understand, affectionately known as the most feared leader of an opposition party. Why do you think that you deserve such a accolade?
Because I think, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet, I think I echo what common Singaporeans feel, and I am not afraid to express it. All right? I will say this. I find the quality of debate in Parliament very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I do not want to criticize any party, but I believe that the foremost duty of an opposition is to hold the government of the day to account. There may be a lot of limitations on our opposition, all right? But I think there is a lot more they can do. That they can be a lot more courageous in debating the government, all right? What I hear instead in Parliament very often are long-winded theoretical speeches, even by the opposition. And you must know that that is honestly just a waste of everyone's time. Because as the opposition, you cannot effect change if you have a supermajority like what the PAP has. All right? And what you must do instead is, you know something? I will say this. I will say Low Tia Kiang and Chiam Si Tong fell for Lee Kuan Yew's trap, who said that the opposition must be constructive. You can be constructive to a certain extent, only to a certain extent. But bear in mind this, as the opposition, you are powerless to change anything. What the opposition must do is to make sure that unfair, unjust government policies are roundly criticized. And except for one or two opposition members in parliament, I generally do find that the opposition do lack this courage to criticize the government heavily. All right? Maybe everyone is afraid, I will get into trouble. I'll be hauled before the Committee of Privileges. And even outside, they don't dare to do anything. I might be sued for defamation. And it's not helped by the fact that you have people like Shanmugam, right, who on Wednesday told Parliament, Leong Man Wai, after he had the debate in Parliament, he goes outside and writes an FB post, all right? And he said he felt offended. Why? You mean an MP is not allowed to go outside and write an FB post or write a newspaper article? MPs all over the world do that. Yeah? What's wrong? And I'm telling you, Leong Man Wai's article was in no way defamatory. Not a single bit was it defamatory. I know he has since altered it, alright, removed some sentences. If I was Leong Man Wai, I would not have done a single thing. I would have kept the article as it was.
And really, 2 days ago it was all the news. Singapore is the 25th happiest country in the world according to the UN report. I asked you earlier, but you never answered my question. Are you happy?
It's hard to be happy when the government wants to politically persecute you every day. However, if you look at Singaporeans, do you think Singaporeans are happy? It's like there are nowadays, right, as a mother, you go out a lot of advertisement. These poster mothers for the advertisement, they're foreigners, they're not Singaporeans. And they openly declare some of them are European expats, some of them are China mothers. They are not Singaporean. Can you imagine, they are selling baby products in Singapore, diaper, wet wipes, and these people are foreigners, they are not Singaporeans.